Welcome back, dear dreamers, to Dreams for Society, where we imagine, visualize, and create our dreams for society. Today is a blistering cold January 30th, 2019. I have Kelei Baker Leek with me. I'm so excited because we're going to do something really fun. You've got to stay tuned as we go forward with this interview. It could be a half an hour, it could be an hour. We just don't know, right, Kelei? But you're going to
That's
take
right.
me through a past life regression. Uh-oh, I already spoiled the thing, but that means you've got to stick with this. And I'll have below this video the time slots where these things occur in the interview, so you can skip around as you feel you want. But let's get back to our beautiful guest. Gorgeous Kelei is with us, as I said. She is a certified hypnotist. We alluded to that. A life coach, consultant, and founder of your own company, Enlightened Steps. I love what you had your tagline on your website, Kelei. It's free yourself. Are you ready to enjoy the life you want? Dream it, see it, be it. And you can get in touch with Kelei. We'll put this at the bottom of the video as well, and we'll talk about it at the end as well. She can remind you at Kelei, and that's an Irish spelling, right? Kelei?
Yes. That's
Kelei
correct.
at enlightenedsteps.com. You'll see it below, and her phone number will be below as well. So, Kelei, I had a little bit more on your background, but I'm going to let you just pick up where I left off and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to be where you are today, helping your clients achieve their dreams through hypnosis and coaching.
Wow, a lifetime's journey summarized in a snippet. Well, let's see. It started with curiosity. I had two parents who were not necessarily what you would call always conventional, and I was an only child. So I kind of was brought up looking at things a little deeper. We kind of had a life, a little coastal life. We lived here in Indiana, but we would live in Palm Springs in the winters, and then we'd come back. So I learned how to flex, going out to a very progressive West Coast lifestyle and living back in Indiana, and sometimes a conservative lifestyle. So that those were some foundation blocks. And then as a young girl, kind of plotted out into life backwards and making some, I don't like to use right or wrong, good or bad. I just think there are decisions we make that are hard or easy. I know the hard ones that we make, we gather those pearls of wisdom that build us. The easy ones, well, they're great, but they tend to just move on through like water through our systems. It kind of goes through and it's great. But making some hard choices in life helps us to forge the steel that we become. It's the fire of which we spring forth and out of. So in that journey, I raised 3 children. I managed and still manage my farms. And I went off into corporate America and built a wonderful career there for 25 years until it was time, and I knew I was ripening to move on and out of that way of being. Through my journey, I studied with some phenomenal teachers. My minor in college was spiritual anthropology, so I had some questions. So reading religious texts, going through them, trying to understand why everybody was so different, and coming around to finding how we're all so similar. And the higher up you go and look down, you see so many of the same messages being taught. So I decided, I studied all along, and it was quiet. I lived compartmentalized, kind of, here's this corporate persona, here's this parent persona, and then this wonderful place where I kept it all compartmentalized, and I kept growing. I'd share it with my children, of course, and bring them along. But when I stepped out, I decided I was just going to allow myself to free flow, study with these wonderful teachers. Jean Houston, I did Greg Braden, Marianne Williamson, Doreen Virtue, just some great sage beings that helped to expand my understanding of life, social growth and interaction, and what our paths are about. So I also decided in this time frame I wanted to, I didn't learn all this just to sit on it. I learned it because I have a calling, and we have that. It's when you get still enough to hear inside your own soul, you have a calling, and that calling, it's a knowing, and it's I need to share and to help others who have who are in process, who are finding their way through things, whether it be grief, recreating a life, ridding themselves of fear. And I think if I could tie that one up in a bow, fear is the thing that is a root cause of our paths getting off. And when we start moving slower and not getting where we want, many times we're just cloaked in a wrap of fear. Fear can be comfortable. We learn to live with it and adapt to it. It becomes our buddy. It sometimes becomes our excuse for not doing the things that we know our soul is hearkening us to do. So whatever that is, sometimes people come to me because they're getting rid of fears, phobias, the standard things, smoking, weight loss, those things, addictions. And I picked up that tool of hypnosis because that is such a beautiful thing. It's meditation is about freeing yourself of stress and getting into a very peaceful state. But hypnosis takes you much, much deeper. And in that space, it takes you to the place where you can change, you can create, and you can listen. And in that place, we can become an intronaut. And I use that word, is astronaut is where we go out into the universe and we're exploring what's outside. But this is just as deep and just as expansive as inside. So that being an intronaut and going in and hearing yourself and aligning with yourself is profound, and it's life-changing. And that's what I love to do. I love to take people to that place where they can hear themselves and create what it is they want to create for their life. So that's kind of a fast snippet of what I do.
Oh, wow. Well, you were attracted to those sage beings, as you call it, because you're a sage being. Very, very astute and wise you are, Kelei. I'm going to throw a little curveball because I just read this the other day that in Buddhism, I've heard this a lot, and I'm sure you have too, and as the years roll by, it seems I understand this more and more with the releasing of energies that no longer serve me. And you talk about fear as being a huge obstacle or something that holds people back from achieving their dreams. What about, now this is really tricky, because the Buddhists will say desire is the root. You said root, fear being the root, but they say desire is the root of all suffering. Pretty sure that's the exact quote. And isn't that interesting? Do you have any? I'm throwing a curveball at you here, but what if I come into you as a client and I say, "Hey, Kelei, I don't want to let go of my desire to want to fall in love, or my desire of eating, my desire of wanting to eat chocolate." And I hear that the Buddhists are telling me that desire is the root of all suffering. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh, well, I do.
Oh, good.
And when we come into this life, we can't know love and joy and all of the good things without having the equal and opposite understanding of the lack of love and the lack of joy and the pain. So that is the experience of life. You have the yin, the yang. That is what it's about. And it's desire. Let me use the analogy of electricity. You have negative and positive. Again, we have to have both. And the only way electricity can move is by bouncing from one to the other, and it moves that way. And that's how we progress forward. That's how we evolve. So, yes, desire is it is the root. It's the action that happens in this. But we have to have that action to have the wisdom that comes into that. Now, when a Buddhist is coming into that sense of Zen place, they've given love and light to the learnings, the movement, that electrical movement, that desire which pings us back and forth and back and forth. And then they get to this state of, it's a blissful place of balance where there is peace, but there is understanding. And one cannot have that understanding without having the journey to get there. So, yes, that is true. But you've had to have taken that journey to rest upon it in that place of Zen and peace, and setting that desire aside. But that is a very high level in a life path. And it's kind of almost what I would call the transitionary level before you move on, because the walk of life, when you choose a life and you move into it, you have to learn from it, and you have to gain those lessons, those agreements that you came in to gather. So, yes, desire, that seed, that fire that propels you. Yeah. And when we're at unrest and maybe we have too much desire for one thing or another, it's learning to balance the desire.
So the opposite of, listening to what you were saying, the yin and the yang and everything, the opposite of suffering with this desire would be peace.
Yeah.
And
learning to be at peace. Sometimes we can be, when you're learning to navigate your own waters, learning to find peace within the suffering, learning to find the beauty, the beauty within the collateral damage.
You're sounding like a lawyer, like me. Collateral damage. I like that. I don't use my lawyer identity anymore, FYI.
I got you.
I love that. So to accept our pain, it no longer controls us, and we can have peace, and we no longer desire peace because we've accepted what is.
We've accepted what is, and ironically, when that acceptance happens, peace descends. And when you go into hypnosis, we work with clients in pain management. Those who are have chronic conditions, we can get them into places where I believe in the physical body, we need to always have an understanding of our pain, and then we can manage that pain. But we can use that beautiful gift of balancing awareness, understanding, and a spiritual place as well, to where you can bring the level down, that's how we give birth to children. It's like you get to that moment where you can, I've got this, I'm going to control this, to where you get settled down, to where you can ride through contractions and go, I'm going to rest for a minute, we'll ride the next one. And so this vessel that we work within, this spirit that resides in here, when we all get in alignment, we can do some amazing things to bring what we need as a soul.
When you guide clients, and later on this show with me, into an hypnotic state, do you normally feel that your client is in the theta or the alpha state, or do they get as deep as gamma? I mean, what do you think? And maybe for the viewers, I
don't want to take them into a deep space. Not normally, because I want you into a place where we've got you with your conscious, your sub, and your unconscious all in alignment, all in this beautiful awareness. I talk with you. We talk. A beautiful thing to note also with hypnosis is you will not go against your core values. That's hardwired. That it's hardwired in you. And as I was talking with you earlier about stage show hypnotists are phenomenal and very good, but they ask for volunteers. So the people who come up, they're wanting to be part of the show, and they're willing to do, they kind of have an idea, I'm going to be asked to do some things, but they're willing participants. But you will find there will be candidates that if somebody says something that just isn't quite kosher for them, not quite what they believe in, they won't do it. They will have a stopping point. And that's a beautiful thing. I will warn people, though, sometimes our places to be more cautious than ever is the place that the beta place that we can get to while we watch TV, where we are constantly, we have repetitive messages being thrown at us. There's probably where it's a little more lethal. But when you're working with a practitioner who's certified, who has something that, they're trying to work in a healing way and a helpful way, you're going to be fine. And I don't take people into that cataleptic place where they're just completely down and out and cannot. I can do it, but that's not the place where you really want to go to do your divine work here, where you're creating and crafting.
Well, I always understood, and correct me if I'm wrong, that we get into the theta state right before we fall asleep, and we're more in the alpha state right when we wake up in the morning, but we haven't opened our eyes and we haven't thought about the day yet.
Right.
And so in a meditation, we can get into the alpha or the theta. So is your experience that it's sort of like a meditative state in a way?
It's a meditative state, but it's more interactive. Right. So where you're and we design it that way. There are body things that I will be looking for in my subject that will tell me exactly where they're at. And sometimes people are a little resistant or fearful on your first go around. I was kind of like, I felt like I wanted to have one eye open, checking who, what, there's that feeling, is somebody going to take over my brain? Are they going to control me? And it's like, nope, we're all going down here together. And ironically, I tend to get myself into a wonderful, relaxed state when I take you in there, because I like my waves to match yours. I like my pace to be with you. So, or vice versa, I like you to come in and be with me on my waves. So that way we're in that sine wave that is just moving nice and slow, and we get into that calm place where you're not finding yourself in resistance. Now, I always tell everybody that your first time, your left brain, that logical, beautiful thinking brain, always likes to go, I don't know. Did we want to pay? How much are we paying for? What do you think this is silly? I don't know if I'm doing it right anyway, and I don't know. It does that. It interrupts you, and that's its job. It's a good thing, but I'll teach you how to just push it off to the left and let it quiet down and relax it. And I like to encourage the right brain, that creative brain, that emotional side. I encourage it to step in. And I really like to work with people to reconnect to that emotional, creative center, which is like a direct shoot into the heart. And this is a beautiful system that, unfortunately, in our everyday life, that day in, day out work life, we're always, pushed over here, told this is the only place you can trust. As women, we've been taught you can't trust your emotions. Stay away from them. And that's the thing that's our mapping system. And it's like, so I try to reawaken that and get people connecting both, balancing both, and you start feeling again and start feeling your way to where you're going. It's a different journey, but it's a profound one, and it's a healing one, and it's learning how to keep that going day in, day out, all the time.
So nice. I love how you're bringing people back into their awareness of their emotions, because it's mapping their journey. I love that. And so that sort of, we talked off camera about 4 things you really love to do. And so we've been talking about the first one, I think, which is hypnosis and life coaching for people who are reworking their life or going through a transition in their career or personal lives. And, you help them remove the fear blocks or the desire blocks. So I think we've kind of gone over that. Is there anything you want to add to that one?
I love to do work in helping people to set down their victim's tale.
Gosh, that's a big one.
It is a big one, and it's sometimes life happens, and we are wounded. And we can logically understand and go on, but sometimes we don't address it in that side of it, but we can heal that. But you've got to pull it all together in that process of healing. And then when we recount the victim's song or the victim's tale, it sometimes it becomes that excuse or that, that's what happened, and I'm cast to this lot. Well, you're not. You can free from this. It can be part of your history. It can be placed in your archival file. If you think about this as a large computer, you can put it in the archives. It doesn't have to be running all the time. And that's some work that I like to do. It helps people who've been through abuse, dealing with a lot of areas, and with grief. Some people get caught in grief, and they it holds them. And when it's holding you too long, we get to open that up, free it up, heal it. So.
I love that. And I might just add a little personal aside here with what you're saying. You know, we think about the codependency model of victim, perpetrator, and rescuer. And, you know, we can play that. It seems like we play that sometimes all at the same time in a certain situation. And, you know, I was married a long, long time. And so after I got a divorce, I was cleaning, you know, unloading my anger and frustration and victimhood. And many years after, well, it's been 10 or 11 years, so not many, many years, but actually, I think it was about a year ago, I came to this huge awareness, maybe it was 2 years ago, came to this huge awareness that I still had anger associated with my relationship, anger toward my former husband. And I thought, this is a rock in my backpack that I need to unload so I can have a lighter journey going up the hill. And I thought, wait a minute, I don't want to unload it. And I know why. Because if I took that rock out of my backpack, I'm using an analogy, that borrowing it from someone else.
I like it.
And took that out, then I wouldn't be able to access that anger rock later when I'm going to seek revenge. And it was like this awareness. Wait a minute, I'm never going to seek revenge. Is that the reason why I'm still holding on to that anger rock? Because I know I need it in order to seek revenge sometime in the future. Once I connected the dots that way, boy, that thing came out flying out.
Poignant. And those rocks, I'm telling you, you can pull the big one and there's still a couple of tiny pebbles that still hang in there. And I so understand the journey with that rock. I have drug a rock myself, several rocks, and that's and it's funny. Every time you work with someone, there's another healing that comes, and this may sound self-indulgent, but there is a healing that happens to you as well. Mm-hmm. And that's that beautiful gift that happens when you're out working and healing. It's like, ooh, there's another one, and that's exactly that's a beautiful analogy of doing that. And I have a saying, when we get into that place and we find that it's that anger and that resentment, and your revenge, that little thing, I love to say, you know, the best revenge is finding your own happiness.
I love that.
So, claiming your own happiness. That's it. It just, yeah. Because I don't have to be tethered to that anger. That anger still drives your direction. Mm-hmm. As hard as that is, it keeps you tethered. And once you can just cut the tether, like you did, and word pictures in our mind, it's, you know, I've had clients where they'll go, I can't picture this. Mm-hmm. I can't make word pictures. And it's like, have you read a book? Well, yes, I've read a book. Well, how did you get through it if you can't make a picture? How did you know what was happening?
Yeah.
Then they start realizing, I all the time I'm reading, I'm making a picture in my mind of what the hell, you know, if it's showing you a house in the south, well, all of a sudden you've got those palm trees and you create these pictures. So creating pictures in your mind, images, that is yours. Mm-hmm. It's private, it's here, and you can work with those to free that. Whether you had the backpack and that was just like, this is on my back every day. But by pulling that out and casting it away from you, there was a release. And this is part of that work. It's finding what works for you and releasing it. And so, yeah, there I went on another segue. Sorry about that.
Oh, I know. I love it because this is giving our viewers a real opportunity to see how what your talents are and how you're interacting with each client. Okay, I think we did a really good job on explaining probably what you do the majority of the time for people because they're coming in to see you. I need to unload this rock out of my backpack. Help! So you also love to do, Kelei, hypnosis and coaching for people who want to explore more about near-death experiences or extraterrestrial encounters. That's juicy.
It is. It's fun. And I know when I first got my credentials and started, I thought, well, I'll probably not work with that too much. And it was like, oh, it's so funny. The universe goes, your first thing's gonna be, and it was just the exact opposite. It gave me past lives. It gave me near-death experience, and phenomenal. So many people who have had a near-death experience have profound experiences, and they yearn to go back to make sure they captured everything, that they don't want anything to slip away. And most of them, it's like a imprint. I personally have had this as well. I had a near death, and that experience is as bright and as clear, but I've entertained going back as well to just see further what you can capture. It takes a very skilled person to do that. You want to make sure when you do that you're going back to a place where your body was in a critical space. So we want to make sure that the body does not perceive itself as in the critical space. But you can go back and view what's going on and view and step into the mind and spirit and where it all went. So I talk with my hands a lot. So they're going like this all the time.
Love it.
Even when they have their eyes closed, my arms are just doing this the whole way.
I do too, but I'm like at the computer, so whatever. But I normally do that too.
I'm so glad. I got my hands going. But near death is powerful. And I had a client who had an experience very young, in their teens, and they wanted to go back. And the client was, an older adult, and their face, in my getting to view this, their face releases all, whatever tension is there, it releases. And the face takes on a young, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like it's remembering its youthful way of being. It just releases it. The vocabulary moves back to the time. How they express themselves, they giggle in between. They're just priceless. To witness that, and then the gifts and the messages become clearer, become felt. They reside in that inner deep core of self. That's huge, and that's profound, and so I'm loving this work. It's an amazing journey, and the messages that come back are so profound for the individual, but they're profound for all of us. And they're profound. They're just profound for all of us. And also in past life work, I find that, people are like, well, how many lives do I have? And the how many, counting that would probably be unfathomable with some souls, and not so much with others, depending if they're young or old. And I find that the life that is called to, is calling it, looking for it, pulls the life that it needs to have right there. It comes up. It just happens. And it's what you need. And when I do a full session, I like to I take them to look through at least 3 or 4. Sometimes they hop and go different places, so it's kind of like, well, let's just go on the journey. And we will gather the karmic threads. And it's not all about karmic debt. It's also about karmic love, karmic compassion, karmic forgiveness. So there's that. There's I will lead you into finding the one word that best describes that life for you.
Oh, nice. I can't wait.
And when you get there, it's just, it will come. People are like, oh, well, how will I know? What will I? It's like you're in the space where you have your knowing. So it just is there. So it's this. And then as you pull these back and look at them and find your own life today, you see the cycles of resolution, or, oh, this is why I'm working on this in this life. It's just this beautiful clarity and awareness, and then some of the individuals that have come forth with these lives. I like to go, I do research after the sessions, and I encourage them to do the same. We go down the Google rabbit hole and look for them. So it's kind of divining through Google. And it's amazing how when they pull those names forth, we find a lot of, lives that are more current, where there are writings, but then we go into some ancient lives that there's nothing going to be documented so much on that, but there's clarity and there's understanding, and there's healing. There's healing that goes on with past lives. It's cathartic. It's a soul healing, and then there's an awareness and an understanding in this life. And I will say this, there's a peace. There's a peace that descends, that passes all understanding, that comes from those deep journeys within.
Since we've talked so much about the foundation of the past life regression, maybe we should go on ahead and do the demo, and then after the demo that you're doing with me, I'd like to explore a little bit, not in depth or anything, but just a little bit about whether you've had any clients that wanted to be hypnotized with their extraterrestrial encounters. And then lastly, you've done, co-created with people what you call Hypno Moves. So again, this is just a little teaser. We'll talk about it before we sign off. But since you've given us such a beautiful foundation of your experience with past life regression with your clients, are we ready to try it with me?
Oh, yes. And you are just a delight, because I know you have experience in going here. So we're going to kind of do an abbreviated induction. But I just want you to let your eyes go shut, nice and heavy. I want you to breathe in nice and deep. And I am just going to play a little music here. Hopefully we'll hear it here in a minute. But as the music comes in and you do this lovely deep breathing, I want you to breathe in peace and understanding. I want you to exhale any stress and blockages that do not serve you. Let them go. Let them go. And I want you to breathe in nice and deep again. And I want you to feel yourself relaxing even deeper. You feel your mind relaxing, uncoiling, letting things go, going deeper and deeper and deeper into that space, that place that is sacred, sacred to you. I want you to breathe in nice and deep, and I want you to go as deep as you can go. I want you to feel your muscles from your neck to your shoulders loosen and soften. I want you to feel your arms get heavier and heavier and heavier. And as you breathe in deep again, I want you to feel your chest relax. I want you to feel all the organs in your body flow in, through, and out. In, through, and out, as everything must flow through your body. In, through, and out. In, through, and out. I want you to breathe in nice and deep. I want you to feel your back relax. I want you to feel all the muscles from your shoulders all the way down. Down much deeper and deeper. Feel that lower back release, that place that holds so many memories, so much stress, so many to-do lists. Let it go. Let it go, let it go. Oh, it feels good to be in this place. I want you to breathe in nice and deep again. And I want you to exhale with a sigh and let your legs relax. Let everything relax all the way down to your feet. I want you to feel light. Feel as though you're floating. I want you to float just like a feather in a warm summer's day with the sun shining on it. Let it float back and forth, gently lowering down, 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 down as it moves forward to rest on that wonderful shallow pond. Shallow pond. As you come to rest here, you float in this place that is yours and yours alone. And as you look to the left, you see every flower that you love so dearly, and you look all around this pond. You see all those flowers, your flowers, blooming, and as you breathe in, you smell them. Oh, you feel the joy of this sacred place that is yours. I want you to have just a moment there. This is that sacred place to listen to you for your private message for you and you alone. Listen to what that deep inner self has for you. And exhale. That's right. That's right. And when you're complete, you're going to rise up out of the pond, and you're going to feel your feet step upon that warm, soft grass. You step up onto the shore. You look all around, and what you see are these beautiful doors all around. There's a golden door, and there's a silver door, and a bronze door, and a copper door, and a platinum door. I want you to walk towards the door that calls you. You see the handle. I want you to move towards it. Walk slowly, with purpose, because you're going on a journey into that sacred place that houses your soul and your spirit and all that has come before you, all that has made you what you are. And as you reach out, I want you to see that doorknob. Place your hand upon it and you feel there's a quartz crystal on that doorknob. Connect with it, turn it, and as you push that door open and you step out, further out into that place, I want you to see what you see. Step into the environment. Look all around you. There are no surprises here. Step into what you see, and I want you to tell me what you see first. Tell me just verbally what you see. Where are you? What do you see?
I'm in a space that is like Earth, yet there are so many flowers everywhere, and the grass is super green, the sky is blue, and there are birds and giant animals, like giant birds. And I am safe. I see no people yet.
Okay. How old are you?
Well, interestingly, I'm Leela, who I've met before.
Ah, Leela. So are you female?
Mm-hmm. And it's Lila, and she's young and long blonde hair and wears I can't see my face. I never can. But when I walked through the door, I was letting go of other past lives that I didn't want to experience, like a nun, really abrasive, like burlap brown habit or something. And I was like letting those go. And as I opened the door to enter this space, I was Leela walking into this paradise. What'd you ask me?
I want to know, what do you have on your feet? Just look at your feet. What do you see on your feet?
Gold sandals, like with my toes showing, just like flip-flops, but they're golden.
Okay. And do you feel that you are on Earth, or do you feel that you're in a different realm?
I feel like I'm in a parallel universe of Earth, just a higher frequency. And and I wear a shimmering blue and white, kind of like a sparkling, really blue, but it looks like white intermittently because of the sparkles. Long to the floor gown. It's very comfortable, almost sheen.
Yes. Now tell me, I want you to just feel what it feels like to be Lila. And I want you to tell me, what are your feelings at this moment? How do you feel?
I feel so alive, is the word that came. Alive and safe and joyful and loving life, wanting to live, wanting to experience this realm in which I'm traversing right now, and wanting to meet other souls here, and wanting to be.
And do you go ahead?
And wanting
to be
in communion with all of the wildlife and nature.
I'm taking notes. What do you feel that life is like for you? Do you have a job, a purpose? What is your purpose in this life?
The word scribe came in.
Okay. Do you have a family here? Do you feel a familial connection?
No, I do have two friends. And again, I've met them before, Mark and Adam, and they're coming forth. I don't feel as if I was born here. I feel almost as if I'm a visitor to record what I'm experiencing here as a scribe.
Okay. Oh, how long have you been there?
I feel like I just walked through it when I opened up the Platinum Gate.
Okay.
So it's as if this isn't a past life, this is a simultaneous life that I'm entering.
Mm-hmm. If you could grab one word that percolates up from your soul, from this joyful moment in this parallel earth, what word comes to you about this journey that you're on in this moment?
There were so many that came in. Okay.
Say them.
Joy,
It's okay.
enjoy, love, fun, travel, meet, greet, co-create, amplify, perfection.
Those are very profound. This experience is it's in this space.
I've just got Kundalini all through my atoms and cells. It's just so amazing.
Yeah.
Allow
that healing, allow this expansion. This journey is for you to look further while you are here. There is something you're gathering here, something that you're going to bring back into this life. This is profound.
Experience is huge. The word experience came in. Experience it.
I want you to stay here as long as you need to experience this. And while you're experiencing this, I want you to think about your karmic flow and what are you being given in your karmic gifts.
Well, caution keeps coming up. When I was in that pond before I went through the gate, the first thing that came in was caution. And in this space, there is no need for caution.
Perfect.
To be free, to be free, to be me, to be free of all karma, to be free. I'm free of all karma here. I'm free of the suffering.
I think this space, this journey for you is very much about healing. This is a place you can go and come. It is yours. It is yours. It is for you. It is for your healing. It is for your growth, your expansion, your learning, your connection. Is there anything else you would like to experience while you're here in this space, here and now?
The knowing,
I want you to feel.
Yeah, the knowing that we all deserve to be here. I deserve to be here always. I am worthy to be here.
I am worthy. Now, when you are complete, I want you to give love and light to this journey, this experience, this portal, this place that you now know. And I want you to listen just for a brief moment. Do you have a name for this place?
Shambhala.
Perfect.
I don't
This
recall
is
ever
your
being here before. Mark is from Shambhala, but this is the first experience I've had that I can remember in Shambhala.
How profound. When you're complete and you've given the love and light that you need to share here, I want you to reach back to the door. What?
It's just, all you can do is laugh here.
Oh, I love this place.
I do too.
Oh, it's beautiful. It looks beautiful on you. It is. Enjoy. And when you're ready to come back into this space, I want you to let me know that you've grabbed the door and that you're closing it behind you. Knowing that you can always open this door again and connect here and heal here and laugh here. This is your Shambhala. Just let me know when you have closed the door.
Thank you for this experience. I'm grateful. And I'm now back on the other side.
All right. I want you to just relax, and I want you to go to the water and look at all those beautiful flowers that you placed there for you, this sacred place of yours. I want you to sit down. Let your hands feel that warm grass and your feet slide into the water. I want you to breathe nice and deep. And I want you to exhale and And I'm going to count from 5 until 1. And when we get to 1, we're going to bring the energy for the rest of the day up through your feet, up through your legs, and into your body, and into your mind. And to bring this beautiful experience and wash it all through you, this knowing, this connection. This journey is yours. Breathe in. 5, 4, 3, exhale. 2, 1. I want you to breathe in nice and deep. Feel that energy flow up through your body, into your mind. And exhale. I want you to sit here for a moment. And then I want you to open your eyes when you are ready. You are ready. How was it?
Oh, exquisite.
Yes, it was.
Mm.
What a journey. Oh, it's what you need to come forth. And you were connected with souls, connected to a place. The joy in your face, and this is recorded. I am so happy today.
I can't wait to
this
watch
is recorded. You're going to see how your face goes into this wonderful, joyous space. Your body reacts to all. It's a sacred place. It's a sacred place.
Ah, thank you, Kelei. All those listeners out there, you have a taste of ecstasy and removing what you need to remove so that you can. Yes, I feel like you helped me bring that back. I'm integrating it. I mean, I'm still buzzing.
Yeah, it's you're gonna buzz all day. I do want to prepare you.
Okay.
Do not be surprised. Colors are going to be brighter.
Mm-hmm.
Music is just going to appeal to the ear. I like to say you'll hear it and it will be sweeter. Also your taste, all of your senses have been freed up. And ironically, people will text me and go, "Oh my gosh, you will not believe the color I just saw." And it just, I knew this color, and so don't be surprised. There will be a color, and I want you to text me when it pops, and you're just like, "Ah, there it is." It's clearing ourselves, letting it go. But you went to this beautiful place. I took a bunch of notes, so that's what I do when these things go on. I'm like, oh yeah, yep.
Like Raymond Moody, yay!
And I am worthy. That one I want you to hold, and you know that that has to permeate every cell in your body. That message came for you. You are worthy. You are worthy of this joy. You are a phoenix. The fires you have flown out of have made you this beautiful soul. You are worthy. I want you to hold.
I don't think I can do any more of this interview. We're going to have to come back and talk about the other things in a second one.
It's all right. You're going to be in a lot of bliss.
Okay.
You've done your work. And, I can why don't you just sit there and sync up and just allow yourself to be still. I will just go ahead and tell people about the Hypno Move. You just relax.
Okay.
Hypno Move is something that I created. I love to take the magic of what's going on in the universe, and we have so many beautiful practitioners out there who are taking their talents and their gifts, and when they get together and do something, it's phenomenal, and it just ripples out to others. But I met up with Angela Agresti, who's a ballerina. She came off the stages of Europe, came back home to Indiana, and we started talking and exploring and about, I like to call it, finding our inner movements, our inner dance. Some people get paralyzed like deer in headlights when you say dance, but they have the perception, I don't dance, I can't, this is but we all dance. Our heart dances. If we are by ourselves, we can dance. But this is about movement, and it's freeing our mind space up. With the Hypno Move, I just open you up. You set down that critical editor that kind of goes all the time. Sometimes it's like, well, you don't know the steps, you aren't trained, you aren't this. It will run lists like that. We set that down. We kind of take a shamanic journey, and we have a theme. So themes in our past were the dance of your life. We went from birth until death, and how would we move through that? It's about a personal journey of movement, so there are no right or wrong movements. You're led through word pictures, and we find that in that personal movement and freeing up, we laugh, we connect with nature, we connect with each other, and the work moves together at some point, and beautifully. And we have live music, so we've had some phenomenal artists with us. We've had violinists, cellists, Native American flute, Celtic drumming, and we had a guitarist, and it's all improvisational, so it flows just as we're flowing. We're all discovering together. And we're going to do one here coming up in Zionsville Blooming Life Yoga with a harpist. So I'm so excited about that. So we have Jill, I think it's Pites, who is going to play for us. Can you imagine having a live harp playing while we get into that beautiful, comfortable space, and it allows us to create ourselves and together. So that's what Hypno Moves is all about. And then we move it around to different places, so it's always about every 2 months, and we have a theme, and this is going to be about spring.
Oh, I love that.
So we're going to bloom just like a seed that gets planted into the earth, and we're going to explore what that feels like and what it's going to feel like to step into the world, and what is our new purpose in this year? What are we going to create?
Oh, I love that. And you'll have all that on your website under events?
Yes,
good.
We're getting that together right now, so
awesome.
It'll be in March, but that's that. And if anybody has any questions, you'll have my website, my phone number, and I'm so glad to see I am so glad to see that. I'm just watching you, and you are just euphoric.
Honey, I am like, yeah. Oh, I'm still tingling. I've always wanted to go to Shambhala, and I've not had any remembrance or recognition of it. So thank you.
Yay! I'm glad you went there. It was beautiful. Yeah. I mean, it's your experience. I get to experience, and everybody who watched this has experienced it with us, and that's what's so so profound. At some point, I'm going to put this out. I'm doing this with you. I'm putting this out into the universe. I have wanted to create something where I could show people going on this journey. I need people who want are
brave
free
enough
to just yes, that are like, I want to go on a journey, and I'm not afraid to let other people see me go there, because there's a healing that comes out of this, not only for you. And that's the other amazing piece, is that there are these morsels that just come, and they're healings for more than just one person.
Well,
we get to share.
I am so appreciative of having the honor of interviewing you and going on this journey with you and myself and the viewers. This is such a treat, such a gift. So,
well, you are as well. Let me just say that, because you are this, yes, you are a traveler of the universe and the innerverse, and you go and you bring all of these beautiful souls a place to come and express what it is that they do, and they're all being called and needed. And thank you for being that voice to pull us out of hiding from being on a camera and into a place where we need to be, and to connect.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Will you come back and in a few months, because I would like to talk about extraterrestrials, what you do under hypnosis. Yeah.
Yes. That's a whole nother topic.
That is going to take a while. And if you're up for it, I could be the guinea pig again, because there is something I do want to remember about an experience I had.
Let's book it.
Okay.
Let's do it, because that is, yeah. You get coordinates. I get star maps that people will lob out, and they're real. And they're scratching their heads going, I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, I met someone on a spaceship. I know this sounds bizarre, everyone, and I don't know how to find him again. So I want to know if there's anyway, I may not find that out, because I really do understand. Correct me if I'm wrong, but my inner guidance is only going to give me what I'm ready for, right? So it might not come out. But
that's right. But there's also there's that thing of co-creating. Mm-hmm. So what you have said right now, you have spoken out into the universe. Okay. And I encourage everyone to, when you finally hear your truth, but this is it. I'm good with this. It resonates in all my souls, and you speak it out. It's like placing your order. You place your order with the universe, and when you place an order at a restaurant, you don't sit here and worry and expect and put criteria on it. You just place it, and then the universe kind of says, all right, I'll bring it when you're ready. So you've placed your order, and trust that, it's good. What comes forth, yes, will be exactly what is needed, but speak your order, and you did, so it'll come.
So when I'm ready, I'm going to book this interview with you.
Yeah. Do.
So we have had a delightful time. We, Kelei and I were thinking, well, we'll go about an hour at the most, and we are at an hour and 13 minutes. But it's perfect. And again, be sure to scroll down, because below this video, everyone, I'll have the times that we talked about certain things, and also the time in which Kelei took me under.
Oh, that was fun.
I love it. Fun. Yeah, I mean, I'm just still, it's just so awesome. Well, thanks, Kelei. And anything you want to say as in closing remarks, and again, mention to the viewers where they can find you.
I am at enlightenedsteps.com, And my phone number you can call is 317-695-0083. And I do, if you're, want to talk, I do a 20-minute consultation, free. Let's talk. You need to be able to understand me and feel comfortable with what it is you're crafting. And I help you peel your own onion, and we'll find where it is you want to go, or you may know exactly where you want to go, and we'll do what we need to do to get you there.
Well, I encourage you all to give her a call so that you can start to dream it, see it, and be it. And as I say here on Dreams for Society, imagine, visualize, and create your dreams for society and your dreams for you. And with that, until next time, love and joy, Lisa and Kelly. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
We can imagine, visualize, and create our dreams. We can imagine, visualize, and create our dreams. Our dreams.